content over everything.
Hello. Hello, America. Possibly one or more two countries to join in. Are you ready? Hello, America. My compliments on your space shuttle, but I'm afraid I think you got one little bit wrong. It's not a practical means, a cheap means of getting things into space. My background is one of production engineering, and we have a saying in engineering: material handling adds to the cost, but nothing to the quality. So, bearing this in mind, one more clue of what I'm going to say. Imagine being at a quayside and seeing a ship come in. A ship delivering goodies. It unloads its cargo in a complete package. The package is placed on a lorry and taken somewhere. It does not unload things one at a time. Bulk is transferred. Now think of the space shuttle going up there and delivering goodies to the space station. The shuttle goes alongside the space stations and unloads one thing at a time and places it into the space station. The space station ends up with the occupants with very little room because they've had so many goodies. Is it their objective to eat them and breathe them as fast as possible so they got some room? Or is there another solution? Yes. When you go up there with the space station, modify it a little bit, and you'll be able to achieve that. You'll be able to drop off your cargo bay, connect it to the space station that you've got up there. Thereby you will not need to unload it, you'll not need to cut to the space station, and when it's all consumed, the goodies are consumed inside the cargo bay, you can use it to live in. So my first principle here is, if you take things into space, damn well use them. Why bother with recycling this product, that product, when you go to space, it's the most expensive bit of transport going, and you don't practice what you preach. This would require a modified space shuttle, possibly returning to Earth. You'll need the pointy bit, yes, let's call it the pointy bit, with the pilot in, and the engines behind, because they can be reused, but this would allow you to have very small wings, which would be savings from the word go. The weight of the wings would be far less, the heating problems would be far less because they're smaller, and they could fly back to Earth with very less problems. The space shuttle itself would have to be redesigned. You'd either have to pull it apart, which wouldn't be all that popular in space, or you'd have to come up with a new design. You could put what we call at the moment, the cargo bay in front and detach it. Or you could have a twin boom arrangement where the cargo bay is in the middle. Now the cargo bay, I'm calling it that, imagine a third, a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth cargo bay go up there. Each cargo bay, they won't need doors anymore. They could be a basic tube, a tube delivering the goodies. The first three would go on in 3 different places. The second 3 would be bolt connected to the first 3, and another 3 would be connected to those. So each set of space tubes would now be 3 tubes long and 3 spokes in total, much like Von Braun space station, who had 3 spokes surrounded by a toroid. This is going to be a modified Von Braun space station. The advantage of which I might not have a chance to tell you because I'm on the clock. But it would offer a lot of potential. For my next step, consider not 3 spokes but 6. 6 spokes would be made up of 3 space tubes each space tube exactly the same size, even the same colour. I'll tell you why the same colour at a later date. The ends of these spokes, the spokes being 3 tubes long, would be 3 tubes apart. So to connect them, you'd connect with 3 space tubes on what could be described as a little notch. These space tubes would be easy to transfer into space, prefabricated in Earth, all made in the same factory ideally, and certainly tested on the same jig. You don't want them to be found to be the wrong size when they get up there. The next bit. This structure would be a pentagon and not a toroid, but easy to construct and easy to get there. Fine. The space station would rotate as per Von Braun, making a gravity. So people could go up there and stay up there for years. Not that they probably want to. But if you go to Mars, the big problem is you're traveling there without gravity for so long, it's uncomfortable. And you're really committed when you get to Mars to land. It'd be far better if there was no rush. And to open the window of traveling to Mars, not to have to rush it in 6 months, use a spaceship that has gravity. What will the shape of that gravity spaceship be? Very much like your space station. Possibly because you're going to propel it. The first thought might be it's cumbersome. Remember, you're up there in a vacuum. Cumbersome doesn't apply the same as it does if it was going from Earth to the orbit. It's already in orbit, constructed in a practical manner. The space station you've got up there, you've only got to tilt it through 90 degrees and you're pointing in the right direction for Mars. That is your space station. That is your spaceship. So when you design your space station, design it as a spaceship. Go to Mars, drones will take all your food there before and after. You'll circle Mars. Initially you send a couple of people down to make sure it's inhabitable. The space tubes, there's more to come, I'll add that later on. They can be landed to give you living accommodation. They can be formed in a hexagon to form a superb living accommodation, not the toroid that the space architects do at the moment, but it seems I got to make a move. I was going to tell you about the landing gear, which puts a new concept before you. I hope to come back and I hope to sell that to you one day, but think on what I've said so far. Thank you.
Content over everything. From now to Benjamin.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Things about Milwaukee. Listen, they make. I don't want to get into that because I don't see that. I never lived with the guy. So
What they say you?
that's what they say because they say he ain't got no kids, right? That's what they say. That's why his cousin is the one who. What's the name of the one who's in charge now? The cousin of the Sultan of Oman. I forget his name. Something bin Tariq bin. Who is the one in charge of in Oman now? It's his cousin. No, they already appointed him, you know. Yeah, he's already up. So I wear the Omani clothes today in order to pay a little respect to the brother, Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed bin Taimur, Allah yarhamu. May Allah make his grave spacious and grant him Jannat and Firdaus. I think of all the leaders of the Arab world, he is the leader that, especially Peninsular Arabs, he's the one that commands my greatest respect. And hence the reason why, even though it's a little bit chilly, I've decided to dress in the Omani style as a kind of homage.